So the leaks for One Piece chapter 1174 have just been released, and the title for this chapter is The Strongest in the World. And this basically confirms what I've been saying, man. Loki is that guy. He is the strongest in the world, because we do end up seeing something critical about Loki in this chapter. But the chapter starts off with the host children who basically, although we know that the ship has been destroyed in the previous chapter, they still can't stop walking. So this means that they're steadily approaching the end of Elbaf, where they will essentially fall in the water and end up dying. And this is due to the fact that since the ship has been destroyed, there is nowhere else for the children to go, so they will simply end up dying. But Summers doesn't really care. He says that it's fine if they die, since they can just kidnap another group of kids, and since they're not going to be useful to the world government, they can just end up dying since there isn't a ship and they can't be brought in. So essentially what's basically gonna happen is that if they are not saved, the children will end up falling and dying, and then they will get another group of ships and then try this again with other kids. This prompts the other families to try and stop them, and they realize that they basically can't. They are hugging the children and they are all starting to fall, so there's nothing that they can really do. But this is when we see who we were really talking about in the title. That person is Loki, the strongest in the world, as we have Loki who appears and saves them. He transforms into a massive black dragon and grabs them from the sky. And Loki's devil fruit has finally been revealed, but we don't actually get the name in this chapter. And we also end up seeing that the chapter ends with a Loki in his dragon form, with Luffy in gear 5th, and we have Ragnar in his squirrel form, who is riding alongside Luffy on Dragon's head. They are both on top of his head, ready to attack these monsters. And what's also quite interesting is the simple fact that from the people who are actually able to see what is going on, they say that Loki in his dragon form is so large that even giant Luffy looks roughly the same as he did when he was on Dragon Momonosuke, which basically means that Loki looks absolutely big. And the fact that he is black, it could really be referencing some of the things that we saw in the mural, where Loki, since he has one of the special devil fruits that are needed to take down the world known as Imu, then it is quite clear to me that the person referenced in that mural is Loki, or whoever ate the food that Loki has right now. So all of this is pretty interesting, and it just basically confirms what I said in this previous video, where I explained how Loki is basically the strongest current character in this era. We're not talking about the previous era where we have characters like Whitebeard or Garp in their prime. We can't necessarily gauge exactly where Loki would be, since the scaling doesn't really involve that, but in this current age, Loki is the strongest. But whether you believe me or not, watch this video right here as I give an in-depth explanation as to why this is the case.